that. Episode 22. It is 22.
My first time being recorded.
Yep. First time with this camera as well.
Yeah.
So there might quality we'll have to play with a little bit.
We've got it on here. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's just streamed, so that won't be the full quality either, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be better once we export it.
If there's any background noise, Brooke's in the shower and she's just shouting at me for some reason.
And it doesn't look like the same place as we last recorded.
Oh no, we're in my kitchen.
Yep. Back to...
We've done this before once.
Yeah. A little while ago now, wasn't it? Was it like episode 4 or 5 or something?
I think it was back in the days before Sam came on board.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, so... But
back with original equipment.
We are back with the original equipment. Sam's got the equipment that we normally use with all the sound effects, but he's away this weekend, I think, somewhere.
I believe so, yeah.
So we are raw dogging it.
Back to our roots.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
Just training, really, and work.
You have been training a lot.
I'm working a lot.
Yeah.
I've been finishing at 10 p.m. while also making sure I still go to training, which isn't great.
Isn't it? Let me just adjust this because it's going to make a noise.
I had a little seminar this weekend.
Tom Baker.
Yep.
Came from
which was
Baker
fun.
Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always good fun when he comes down.
What did he cover? Because I didn't get there.
Hand fighting and then a Aoki lock.
Oh.
So that was good fun.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I didn't have a partner to start off with, so I just was walking around recording videos.
Oh, okay.
Which was fine.
Yeah.
I'd just done the MMA class anyway, so I couldn't be asked.
Yeah. Is this a new venture at MMA?
I just don't enjoy punching people. I did it a little while ago, 2 years ago, I think it was.
I think it's good for fitness.
Yeah, definitely. But I just don't enjoy the punching side of things.
I know.
I don't know why. It doesn't fill me with excitement, whereas choking someone or throwing someone does.
Well, I'll tell you another thing that you've done a couple of classes of. Judo.
Yes.
How's that going?
Was it 2 or 3 classes now? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Do you wear a white belt?
Yeah.
Do you?
I absolutely love it. Literally being able to put a white belt on and starting from scratch.
Do you wear your jiu-jitsu gi, or have you bought a...
So you're meant to wear a white gi, so I brought a white gi with me every class I've done.
Yeah.
But I have to use a judo jacket because my only plain white gi I've got's got a hole in the lapel, next to it. So you can't really use that.
There's a lot of grips and throw-in, so I guess your fingers would get stuck.
Yeah, so I don't want to break anyone's fingers.
That's funny though. So you've put your little white belt on.
Yeah.
And how's their classes different to our classes?
There is a lot of cardio.
Is there?
Yeah, literally straight off the bat, we'll run around the mats, and then do a lot of dummy throws. You do the movement into the throw, and then run back, and then do 3 burpees, and then run back and do some more dummy throws. And then last week we did that, but then at the end you do 10 throws on your partner.
Right.
And then the person who gets thrown has to get up as quickly as they can.
And get thrown again.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then the other person does it, and then you're getting thrown to the floor and you have to get back up.
Yeah.
But it's good.
And who teaches those classes?
So it is 2 classes I've only been to so far. Nikki taught the first one.
Yeah.
And then Jack, who trains with us, he taught the second one, which is cool.
Also strange because he's a black belt or high level black belt in judo, and then comes to jiu-jitsu and puts a white belt on.
Yeah. And now I'm... so he's a white belt when he comes to jiu-jitsu, and I'm a brown belt.
And then you go there.
I'm a white belt and he's a black belt.
Yeah, that's quite cool though, because that's the crossover of martial arts. He would absolutely fuck you up in judo. Yeah. Whereas when he comes to jiu-jitsu,
we have a lot of better round.
Yeah.
Because a lot of his judo transitions, when he first joined, I remember he would get a lot of throws, but you end up straight on his back because the difference in the martial arts. But he's picked it up really quick.
Yeah, he has. I was watching him roll the other day, but I think judo are changing their rules soon, aren't they? Because they're allowing slightly more ground stuff.
Possibly.
Yeah, or I think it's something because
they don't allow you to grab the gi pants
at all. Oh, no. Right. I didn't know that. Yeah. But I know that, what I was saying about, so they, you can do a throw, and they allow, like, arm bars and stuff in judo, but only if you, like, literally fall into it. You can't, like, work for it. It's really, really small amount of time that you've got to work.
It's like, every time in the class, I'm always trying to figure out the rules as I'm going along. Like, we do these rounds at the end, which, from what I've gathered, is you have to get a throw where you get them to their back.
Right.
You can't, like, throw them and then roll them over and to take side control.
Yeah.
And then it's just winner stays on, which I really like.
Right.
So you just, like, constantly go and try and take them down and get them to their back. And I don't know.
Is that the rules of judo, though?
I don't know.
Okay, you should probably know.
Yeah, I need to.
But you're
learn.
a white belt, so what's
I'm expected not to know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I've learned you can grab the bottoms. Like, before, I was just grabbing, like, lapels here, but now apparently, as far as I'm aware, you're allowed to grab the lapels of the jacket even below the belt.
Right. Yeah.
So the bits that stick out the bottom.
Yeah.
They've recently, apparently, I think, been allowed to do that now.
Yeah.
So
this might be your new venture.
Currently it is.
Black belt in judo and jiu-jitsu.
Not sure about that far, but I'm definitely enjoying it because, like, at the moment I do love the throws and learning and, like, getting better with them, practicing on white belts and
highlight reel in white belts.
Yeah, and then, like, improving, going to, like, blue belts and purples and stuff that.
Is it Joe Rogan that said if you want to get good at jiu-jitsu, you just have to beat up blue belts? I think I'm pretty sure.
Depend on your level or something.
Yeah, like, I think there's I think purple belt onwards, obviously. There's, like, a video of his podcast, and it's like, if you want to get really good at jiu-jitsu, I think he might have been talking to, like, Jocko Willie, whatever that guy's name is, because that Jocko's like a real high level black belt as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So but he just says you've just got to beat up blue belts. So.
That's the thing, like, if you want to practice a technique, you'll drill it, for instance, and then live sparring, you're going to try it on someone who's worse than you, so you can practice it.
Yeah.
And then slowly build it up to someone on the same sort of level.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing. I just sent... Maybe I shouldn't have put a highlight reel of a white belt, but...
It was good. It created a little bit of Instagram drama. I was hoping for more, but...
Did you see some of the rest of it from after the seminar?
Yeah, the back and forth.
Yeah.
Chris from Basingstoke.
I think he ended up winning it because I ran out of clips of stuff that I can post.
Yeah.
Whereas he could just keep going.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a back file, I'm sure, of years of highlight reel in white belts. Yeah. So, you've been doing judo, training a lot.
Yeah, I think in the last, like, 2-3 weeks I may have trained, was it? I don't know. 7 days a week. Sometimes twice a day.
I think today's your first day off.
Yeah.
Of training. We were gonna go and try and train, weren't we? But we didn't organise it.
No. Sean decided he needed to spend some time with his missus.
Disgusting behaviour. Unbelievable. You'd think he'd know better.
Yeah.
Hence why I'm sat in my kitchen and I'm not training. Yeah. But lots of training, that's good.
What about you? How's your training going? You feel? Since you are competing soon.
Well, competing, we'll see. I was looking at the brackets last night. My blue belt bracket is huge.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have said if you do it, I'll do it.
I know. There's like 10 people in it at the moment. Yeah, in the gi. I was in two minds because I said to you, I'm only going to compete in the gi. But I've done a few rounds in no gi recently, and I'm sort of thinking, maybe I'll just do both. But it's a long day. Yeah, exactly. It's a long day. It's £100. And when I go out in the first round of the gi, then I have to just stand around then for hours to go out in the first round of the no gi. So, so I don't know. Or I might do something a bit, I won't say it on the podcast, but I might do something a bit controversial.
Just to get an easier...
Yeah,
less
just to get an easier ride. So we'll see. But also you
could always go up a weight division.
Well, I looked at going up a weight division, but there's still even more people in that.
Oh, really?
The weight division's a bit strange anyway. I probably should have concentrated if I knew I was going to compete, because I probably could have cut. So I weigh like 65, and the next weight category down is like 64 point something.
Okay.
But whether I'd be able to get it on the day, I don't know, because I fluctuate loads. Like I'll go up a bit, come down a bit. So I could go down a weight category.
I think you should just go in at your weight and just give it a go. If you've got zero expectations, haven't trained,
100%, yeah.
haven't put like a camp in for it.
No chance, no, and I won't either now.
No.
Even if I enter now, I'll just
go in and see what you can do.
Yeah, I don't have the time to up my training anymore anyway. So
it's like the training that I've done of like doing more classes recently hasn't been for the comp. It's just because I've had the time,
yeah,
and just wanted to go visit these other clubs.
Yeah, that's it. And yeah, I mean, when you're like a hobbyist and you want to compete, it's only to sort of like see how you're going to do.
Yeah.
But
and just test yourself, see where you're at. We've
got guys in our gym that are like competitors, and they're training a lot, and the difference is massive. So you just know that, especially in blue belt, like you just know you're going in to the shark pit. So yeah.
Do you think blue belt's probably the hardest bracket to compete at?
I think it's probably the hardest to compete at for the how swamped it is, and blue belts are hungry. I think once you start to go up, like it just
the brackets get a bit smaller.
But it's purely because like there are less and less and less of the belts, I suppose, and then like less of the weight.
Unless you're doing something like IBJJF competition, like a worlds and stuff like that.
Like in yours, you're what, Masters 1 brown belt?
Yeah.
And I think there's like one other guy in your...
Yeah, there's one other guy who's paid, and then there's one that hasn't paid.
Yeah, so
it could be 3 of us, but at the moment it's looking like 2.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. But then like mine's got, I'm pretty sure it's either 10 or 12 people in it. So yeah, but then obviously like... But
after round 1 it goes down to 5.
Yeah, I always get confused in my head about how that works. Like if there's 12 people and everyone fights each other, then that's 6.
Yeah.
And then if everyone fights each other, that's 3.
So as soon as you see like 12 people,
so to go to the final, I'd have to do 4 matches, I think.
Yeah, which isn't a lot.
Not really, no.
But then once you get all of the adrenaline kicks in and that, after the first fight, you're like, fuck, you feel like you've done a full open match.
That's how I don't know. I've forgotten that environment, so I don't know how I'll fare.
Yeah.
I might not even turn up yet. We'll see. I'm still recovering from my foot. I had to go to the hospital the other day. I did like I can't remember the word. Basically, I've torn the tendons, but it's where it's torn across from there's a bone in your foot that like everyone breaks all the time, and I've like hairline fractured that. So I'm still recovering from that really, but I've had this weekend off.
Yeah, I've had a bit of a bad hip for the past like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah,
and I think I don't want to
throw.
I was about to say I don't want to blame judo, but I've never really had a bad hip for a while.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Just getting thrown to the floor constantly.
That's it.
But I'm enjoying it, so I'll deal with a bad hip.
Yeah, but yeah, apart from that, I'm just going to train. I will register for the comp, hopefully. I'm not making any promises. And then, I'll just try and stay consistent and see what happens, really.
Yeah. Do you feel, so far through competing, you are more comfortable in the gi or no gi for competing?
If you'd have asked me like 6 months ago, I'd have said no gi.
Yeah.
But maybe longer.
You've done a lot more gi recently.
Yeah, probably for the last year. Well, probably since getting my blue belt, I really headed over into the gi, and I've for the last probably about 2 or 3 months I've been working on lasso guard, which is obviously a gi guard, and so I'm probably more confident in that stuff. But I think I was saying to you the other day, a lot of the stuff that I work in that is like into like bicep slices and stuff like that.
Which you can't do.
I can't do it at blue belt in a competition. So that's kind of going to fuck me up.
Yeah.
But a DQ's still a win. So
I think it is.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm probably more confident in the gi. Mainly because I can slow it down and get the grips. Like I've been doing some rolling in no gi, and I forgot the pace. Like I forgot the slippery, like slapping, trying to get grips pace that comes with it. Yeah. And then obviously that's in an open mat. So on a
competition
in a
level.
competition, you're like in a whole different league of that. But are you just doing gi?
Yeah. So I was going to do both, but then for the price and stuff, I was just like, it's a lot of money. I know I'm not going to prepare enough to the point where like I'll be happy to do both. I'm just going in it. I haven't competed in like nearly 2 years now, I think. So it's just like just throwing myself in there, go there for a bit of fun. Yeah. Just see what I can do.
So if anyone's wondering, it's the Reorg Spring Open.
Yeah.
26th of April, somewhere in London.
I honestly have not checked the date or
I know it's
the
the
location.
26th of April, but it's somewhere London, but I don't know where.
So it's this month?
Oh yeah, it's only a couple of weeks.
Oh, it's the 13th, so yeah. Like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, loads of time for prep.
Yeah, perfect amount of time.
Brooke's just mouthing something to me.
Hello.
Oh, she needs to dry her hair. Here's the dog.
Come on.
You can come on.
Can be on the pod.
Yeah.
Little dog joined us.
So literally a couple of weeks away. So I think there's a few people going though. There's a few of the white belts from the gym that are doing.
I was told Tinchy Strider and Tom Hardy are meant
not
to be
Tinchy Strider.
No.
You're getting confused. I think it's.
Someone said Tinchy.
Tiny Temper.
Tiny Temper.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just got his purple belt, and I think that's who he was on about. It's not Tinchy Strider.
Not Tinchy Strider.
Although unless I'm wrong, and he's got his purple belt as well.
Because do they both compete? Or both of them train jiu-jitsu?
I follow Tiny Temper on Instagram, and he trains and competes.
No.
And obviously everyone knows Tom Hardy does.
Yeah. He's possibly going Tom Hardy, I think.
Yeah.
Because he's an ambassador for Reorg as well.
Yeah, that's it. But one of the guys at the club, Ross, who got introduced to jiu-jitsu... Pardon me. Got introduced to jiu-jitsu via Reorg. He is doing something to do with their marketing or something, as in like interviewing or being interviewed or something, but he's also competing. And he's only been training... I don't know. I want to say... I think time goes so quick, doesn't it? I want to say like 6 months, 7 months, something like that, maybe coming up to a year. So he's competing, so it'll be his first comp, so that's good. And it's a good one for him, being that, like, he found jiu-jitsu through Reorg. So to then do his first comp at Reorg is, like...
It's cool.
It's cool, yeah. So, yeah.
Fun. I think there's, including you, there'll be 4, maybe 5 of us from our club.
John, Ross, me, you.
Is there anyone else?
Don't know who's competing. I know, like, Sam said he might come. I think Bernie said he might come.
Yeah, I think Bernie's going to support.
Yeah, so don't know. Maybe there's more time to sign up. So if anyone's listening and they want to sign up, if you do it, I'll do it. It worked with John.
I've signed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be a good day.
Yeah, I think it's a good comp as in, like, as well. They have like loads of like, I know they normally have stalls, but I think like Reorg has like loads of stalls there of like kit and stuff like that. So
I've never done a Reorg comp yet.
No, I've never been to one. No. But yeah, so getting
Have you
ready.
got a game plan? A submission you'd like to hit, or a submission you think like is your most hitted submission you've got?
It would have to be some sort of footlock or probably some sort of armbar.
You reckon?
Yeah. I don't have a stand-up game, so...
Since when?
I know. It's just gone down the hill, really. I used to be, like, world champion.
What, wrestling
I was D1 wrestler.
Oh, was you?
Yeah.
Okay. What does that mean?
It means
What does D1 stand for?
probably something like,
What do you mean, probably?
I don't know, maybe like Dick 1 or something. Anyway, I was that. And, but yeah, so I've got no stand-up, really. Not enough that I'd want to
Stand up
in a comp. So
Just pull guard.
it'll be some sort of guard pull. Again,
Armbar.
well,
It can catch people out.
yeah, I have caught people with it before,
Yeah.
but now everyone knows
But reorg don't.
exactly. Yeah, don't know. Game plan. Some sort of guard pull, like I say, probably works the lasso guard because I can sweep from there. But the problem is that I'm still working it, and it's early in like what my follow-ups are and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, no. I think what I've done is I've gone down the wrong route with it because I worked the guard for ages. Then I started working sweeps from it. And then what I started doing was like subs, but I just started doing like wrist locks and bicep slicers. So
Getting into some bad habits.
yeah, basically. So I need to actually work some like legal. Well, wrist lock. I can wrist lock.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe everyone's just
But
getting wrist locked.
if you wrist lock at a competition and you slapping that straight on
Yeah,
with no regret, or you
they're not-
slowly putting it on
they're not masturbating for
a while.
a good 6 months afterwards.
So
Yeah.
from a person who doesn't think wrestling or takedowns
Oh,
is a
God.
thing or should be a thing,
Well, have I said this already about Craig Jones?
I don't think so.
So I'm
Because
just
the last time you were on,
Yeah.
we spoke briefly. Was you talking about the whole
that's it.
takedown thing?
So I'm not
wrestling.
saying that Craig Jones is obviously a massive fan of the podcast, but the dogs are doing jiu-jitsu. But I said that I said all the shit about wrestling and all that, yeah. And then all of a sudden, Craig Jones has come out and said the same thing, and now taken a massive. He's took a headline fight, hasn't he, at CJI 2 with Gabriel.
I can't remember the guy's name. Wrestler.
Yeah, he's a wrestler anyway. And now Craig's talking shit about wrestling, saying it doesn't work and all that shit. So,
But Craig's also known for just talking a lot of shit. And just
so am
being...
I.
But
Yeah.
from your perspective then, what do you think's better, judo or wrestling?
Well, interestingly, because we had that conversation with, it's Jack, isn't it? So Jack, Jack trains at Newbury. Well, he's a head coach for Newbury Judo, and now him and his sister both come and train some jiu-jitsu with us. And you tried winding the situation up because you were like, "Oh, Mason thinks judo's shit," and I said, "No, I don't." But then he did turn around and say, "Well, I think what he was trying to say was that, like, basically from him doing judo and jiu-jitsu, he's obviously like really, really, really good at judo. But when he comes to jiu-jitsu, it's like, yeah, he can throw us, but then that's it.
There's
like
a lot of throws that don't come over to jiu-jitsu.
a lot of the stuff, like he was saying, some of the throws is like would put you in a very bad position.
Yeah.
For jiu-jitsu, if you know what I mean, like straight to the back, straight to the legs, whatever. I think both sports have their place, and I think
disadvantages and advantages.
yeah. Obviously, the thing is with like judo and being able to, I'm gonna burp. Might have to edit that out.
Too much effort.
Yeah. If it smells like garlic in here, by the way, it's because I've been cooking with loads of garlic today.
Oh, we're making the bread.
Yeah.
Mason's also a baker, if you don't know.
Yeah, I made
not just a builder.
I made a olive and wild garlic loaf. I'll show
Fancy.
you. For the YouTube, we have cut it in half.
Yeah, if you're listening on Spotify, obviously, I might actually be able to upload it to Spotify, the video as well.
So yeah, I'm not just a amazing builder.
Amazing
jiu-jitsu athlete. I can also bake. So
bakers as well.
Yeah. Sorry, ladies, I am taken. I'm married. So.
Gold baking.
Yeah, that's what Sam said earlier.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. What was I getting to anyway? Judo, jiu-jitsu. Yeah, they both sports have their place. Like, it is just sport at the end of the day, and it's like a hobby or whatever for anyone.
Because if you think, like, I think Jeff said I think he said judo would be a great self-defense, learning judo, because you're throwing someone to the floor and you're staying on your feet.
Yeah,
whereas
exactly.
jiu-jitsu, like, you're both on the floor.
I think, like, the point that I was making about, like, takedown versus submission or pulling guard or whatever was, and Sam was trying to make a point of, like, if you take someone down, you're in control, but maybe it's because I don't have the level of
knowledge,
takedown, whatever yet, but I don't really consider that to be the right case, because you'll probably have this is probably a good debate actually, because you're probably different, but if you have a guard that you play in jiu-jitsu, or you want to enter like legs straight away, there's not really much point in taking someone down, getting on top. Well, this is where it gets complicated, because there is in a competition sense.
It all comes down to what you're trying to get out of it. If it's like a self-defense, it'll be completely different to if it's the sport or a competition.
The problem with competition, with the points-based competition, is that you get more points for takedown, sweep, like takedown to mount, or takedown to take their back or whatever. Like, you'll get more points for the run of, or timeline of what that would be, rather than, because in a comp, does a takedown count as a sweep?
Takedown, you get 2 points.
Right, but is
if they're both standing. If you're on the ground and then you take that person down, that's a sweep. Yeah.
So that's what I mean. So, like,
unless it's a wrestler where you wrestle up into a single leg and then take them down.
Yeah, but for the guard player or the guy that loves leg locks or whatever, you'll know where you want to enter that from. So if you're a sub hunter, or you're doing like a sub only or whatever, I personally, and again, this is a real personal thing for me in my game, I don't see the point in then trying to stand up for 2-3 minutes just hand fighting and all of that, because that's not my game. So I won't progress off the back of that. I'd rather just sit down, get into a guard, attack the legs or whatever.
But if you learnt it, then it would be part of your game.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing.
And why is it you don't want to
I've just never enjoyed that
takedowns?
Part of it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like, as in, like, I just see jiu-jitsu as like the ground game, if you know what I mean, like how I get there.
By just sitting on your butt and then putting your hand up and just scooting
away. I am just a butt scooter.
I was thinking, like, I always used to just sit to my butt, but then as I started playing with the stand-up a bit, I learnt to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same for, like, people who do the gi and then get into no gi. Like, jiu-jitsu is hard, whichever way you look at it. It's hard to do, and that's one of the reasons why people continue to do it, because it's such a hard thing.
Yeah, and it's always learning.
Yeah.
Like,
but then do people get into no-gis? Some people, because they just don't get along with the grips and they find it too hard.
I think that's a whole nother ball game of subjects, because, like, I've never really understood the thing about people saying I don't ever want to train in the gi.
Yeah.
I'm really bad with names, but there's a guy...
Ashley.
No. There's a guy, like a high-level black belt in jiu-jitsu, and I literally watched a video of his the other day about saying, if you want to be good in no-gi, train in the gi. If you want to be good in the gi, train no-gi. Like, basically what he's saying is just do both. But I get it. Like, some gyms are, like... I think, well, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, no-gi more dominant no-gi people seem to be taking on the whole wrestling stand-up thing more at the moment than what the gi people were, if you know what I mean. So like there's a lot more going on no-gi wrestling, whereas in the gi it's like
more judo based, I think.
Yeah, like people that were training judo and jiu-jitsu in the gi, the throws and everything were coming over, but then you were just progressing off of that with your ground judo game, if you know what I mean. But in no-gi it seems to be like
there's a mixture, I think, for no-gi, because there is like people, for instance, like J-Flo, who does the changeover of taking judo stuff and putting it into a no-gi situation, and being really effective. Yeah. But then also some people just go down the route of the wrestling.
Yeah. It's
whereas in the gi, I think people tend to just go the judo route because of the grips.
Yeah.
And judo does grips.
Yeah.
Whereas
that's it,
wrestling, they don't.
Yeah. I would say it'd be interesting to know what other people think. As in, like, do you think it's easier to learn a takedown game in the gi because you do have the grips, and you, let's just say, judo has already done all of that takedown stuff with what you can grip hold of, whereas I know you've got proper traditional like American wrestling in no-gi, but it's slightly different, isn't it? Because proper traditional American wrestling is like you pinning someone, you're taking them down and you're pinning them on their back for a set amount of time or whatever. And again, does that correlate over to jiu-jitsu? Don't know, because the guy's fighting you in a different way. But yeah, like you say, I guess if you've always trained gi, your takedown style is going to be judo based. If you've always trained no gi, it's like a different. I don't know how well you'd then correlate that over.
I think it's easier for a judo person to be able to go from gi to no gi than a wrestler going from no gi to gi.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah, like what's going to be the hardest, if you know what I mean.
Then I also thought, is it easier for, I don't know if it makes any difference whatsoever, I haven't given it much thought, but is it harder for a judo person, a judo black belt, to get better, to learn jiu-jitsu than a jiu-jitsu black belt to learn judo?
Ooh, that is interesting.
What transitions of the knowledge of your first martial art over to the next?
Well, if I don't know, you might know. So in jiu-jitsu, if you're a judo brown belt or above, isn't it, you have to compete at blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Is there any rules for...
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. We should find that out. Let me have a quick look. Because I wonder if... I bet it's not going to be something I can Google, is it? Fuck that, I can't be bothered, sorry. I'll find out.
Though, for me in the judo classes, with the rounds at the end, from my knowledge of BJJ, I'm able to do well or better than like the lower belts.
Yeah, I know what. When we have people that come and train that have got a really like high level of judo, and then they come
Their
and train.
Their bases are so good.
But I was going to say it's like the base, and you can't take them down and stuff. But
when you do pull guard or something, and they sit into your guard, it's hard to sweep them.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and also I think it's like Matt Fry from Basingstoke.
Oh, Matt, yeah.
Is that his name, Matt Fry?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when he comes to roll sometimes at Newbury, I always remember like I wouldn't stand up with him because I was like, he knows judo, like fuck this, I'm just gonna get launched. But
and he's really good at it now as well.
But I remember saying to him, and then we had a roll, and he like did like judo throws, but from like his knees or like turtle position and stuff like that. So that's a good example of like he could cross that over everywhere.
It's like little things that from the classes that I've done so far, just little details that cross over to jiu-jitsu, and it's been beneficial for me, even if it's not a throw. Just little details on like one of the throws where you catch your arm, you come under and weave through and stuff like that. You get so tight on the other person. It's so effective.
Yeah.
It's just little things like that can transition really well.
Those two, like judo and jiu-jitsu, are like the best to train. Combine. Like, but then maybe I say that because we don't really have like massive wrestling gyms, or like in America where they do wrestling in literally like in school. Those guys that then go on to train jiu-jitsu are like a whole nother level because they've got like D1 wrestling behind them, if you know what I mean. I've
never been to a proper wrestling class, so I can't say like what the training's like, but their cardio must be insane. Because they're just non-stop takedown after takedown, like shots after shots.
That's it.
It's similar to judo. You have to chain the takedowns because you're never going to hit the first one straight away. You've got to set up. Same with like jiu-jitsu. You're never necessarily going to get the first submission. You set it up with disguising it with something.
Jiu-jitsu is like you can really take your time to get to something.
You can pin someone, just hold them there for a good like 2 minutes.
If they're on top of you and you're like, right, okay, this guy's like got me in side control, but I know this from here. Like you can just work it slowly, little detail. Whereas with judo, you kind of can't, because like gi jiu-jitsu, where you're like, you've got grips and you're like pinning them to you, but whilst working your way through something. Whereas in judo or wrestling, the person is just like going all out to then do exactly the same thing on you. You know what I mean? Which I know you get that in jiu-jitsu.
Someone with a lot of judo or wrestling experience is going to listen to this and say these two are talking so much shit. They have no.
The thing is, we don't know. I don't know. I did a bit of judo when I was a kid, and I've never done wrestling. So
you did judo
when I was young. Yeah.
What belt did you get to?
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
I was just white belt.
You were just white belt.
Yeah. Is that the first one you start with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware.
Yeah. No, that's it. I just did a little bit. It was a really weird situation because my dad worked at a private school. I don't know how much I did of it, but I remember doing a few classes. But my dad worked at a private school doing some building work. But sorry, Koa's crying.
Definitely gonna hear that.
He's due a nap. He should be sleeping. And basically part of their PE classes was to do judo, and for some unknown reason, I just managed to sneak my way into a few of their classes, like when they were doing PE. Really weird, but I remember doing that. I did a little bit, but I never really stuck to martial arts when I was a kid because I didn't like being told what to do, and jiu-jitsu wasn't really it probably was a thing, but it not like, like when back then, when so let's say like 20 years ago or 20 odd years ago, the sports that you did were like karate, judo, taekwondo maybe. I can't really think.
Aikido.
Don't know, doubt it. But jiu-jitsu classes weren't really like readily available, which I think that if I'd have found, because I started jiu-jitsu when I was like 18 or whatever, 17 or 18, or I can't even remember, but when I first got introduced to it. But I think if I'd have found it when I was like 4 or 5, like the kids' classes now, I'd have stuck to it. But when I tried judo and kickboxing, I was just like, nah. Just stood at the front of the class, just like being told what to do, if you know what I mean. I was just like, this is boring.
Well, jiu-jitsu, especially at our place, it's so like laid back.
Yeah.
It's welcoming, it's fun. It feels
it's funny because it's like you can go to a jiu-jitsu class, I don't know if this is all gyms, but like, Newbury's just so chilled out, so relaxed, right? Like Bernie, like he doesn't expect anything of you, if you know what I mean. As in, like, if you come to a jiu-jitsu class, like sometimes me and you'll go and train, and we just won't train.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's bad, but we'll just like we'll do a bit and then,
or like help someone out.
Yeah, or whatever, and then like, you know, and then we'll just do a bit of rolling and whatever, and like no one says like, oh, no one says anything like, you know, Bernie's not like, do this, do that. It's not that sort of sport.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I stick it out now, if you know what I mean. Whereas like, you wouldn't do that in other martial arts.
No.
Like, you have to, you'd be told what to do. Stand at the front, throw this punch, do that. Your phone's distracting me.
Yeah. I was going to open it, but I think it would stop the video.
Yeah, please don't.
Don't know.
Anyway, sorry, we'll have to edit that bit out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I wish, I was going to say actually, that's kind of like a good transition thing to say, like, what would be like your biggest regret in jiu-jitsu, and what would be your biggest like positive
Biggest regret is probably not finding it sooner.
Yeah.
Because like for a few years it was literally less than 100 yards from my workshop.
Oh yeah.
Just round the corner. I never knew it existed.
Yeah.
I never got into martial arts, never liked hurting people, nothing. Would hate to even push someone. And then like, so I never thought about doing kickboxing or boxing or any sort of grappling.
Yeah.
Until my brothers did a Ultra MMA event. Then I saw the jiu-jitsu and I was like, it kind of took my eye a little bit, and then gave it a go and just never stopped.
Yeah.
And yeah, my biggest regret is probably not finding it sooner.
Yeah.
Because
I think that's the same as me. Like,
my life journey would have changed like 4 or 5 years ago.
That's what
4 or 5 years earlier than it did.
I was thinking earlier. I was literally doing something in the car, and I was thinking about like training, and I was like, because like I say, just turned 29, but got introduced to jiu-jitsu like, I can't think, I've got like photos of me training in like 2015, so that's, what's that, 10 years ago when I had hair. And all I did was train no-gi, and like I said, I don't even know if we really trained like, I mean, I could be completely wrong here, my dad will probably correct me, but I don't know if we really trained like jiu-jitsu as such, or it was jiu-jitsu but it was like more like submission grappling, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so I mean, if I'd have stuck it out, you know, that's 10 years. If I'd have stuck it out for 10 years, like people that I trained with back then, I know that I still follow on social media are black belts now. So yeah, that's I just wish that I'd stuck to it, but life,
stuff gets in the way and you have to take a break.
That's it. Yeah. So
so far through my time, I haven't yet had a break, I don't think.
No, that's it.
Even through like relationships and stuff, I've still managed to train and get the time in. It just took a back step a little bit. Still taught my classes. I just used my time a bit more wisely with the rest of my life. Which you have to do. Just balance it. Work and train and family and stuff. Yeah,
that's it. Which is what I just didn't do really. I just like had too much going on at two different times. And the thing is with me, where I used to train in Andover, and like obviously lived like the other side of Newbury, so it was taking me like, you know, let's just say like an hour to get to training. And so like I was training a lot. I was doing like, well, my day used to go, I would get up, go to the normal gym at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, then go to work, and then I'd go straight from work, have a shower at the gym, literally get changed, and then train from like 5 o'clock at night till like 10 o'clock at night, like every day really. And that was like bits of like MMA and bits of gym stuff there, and then training and stuff like that. But yeah, I think I burnt myself out initially because I got so addicted to it. I was like,
that's the problem when you first start. Like, you just dive in, you start training as much as you can, doing as much as you can for it, and then you get to a point where you're just so tired and that, and you just feel like, oh, and then you just. And
the thing, the worst thing that I do is, that's what I said. I always say to like Brooke, I'm always like, I can't stop like I have set days that I always do, and then I have bonus days.
Yeah,
So,
if
like,
you
I
have the
always
opportunity, then
do
you do.
Monday, Thursday, Saturday, really.
Yeah.
And then I'll have bonus days, which will be like Tuesday lunchtime, Friday lunchtime, like whatever.
Yeah.
But if I just always set myself to do the Monday, Thursday, Saturday, because if I'm like, oh, just have a week off this week,
Yeah.
then I'll be like...
The thing is, you can turn up as well and not necessarily go all out. You
Yeah.
can sort of take your time.
It's the point of putting your
there.
gi on, going to
Yeah.
the gym, getting on the mat.
Because as soon as you turn up, like, you could have a really shit day and be like, I really can't be bothered today.
Yeah.
As soon as you turn up, it completely changes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I've ever seen, like, sometimes I'll just train and it'll be like a fucking mental, like, open mat, and I'll really go hard, and then I'll be like, I needed that, if you know what I mean. But I think now I'm like for life, if you know what I mean. Like, trained so much in the past, settled myself right into Newbury now, and then I won't leave, if you know what I mean now. Like, even if anything happens or I have to cut down, it would literally be like, even if I'm turning up once a week, I would still be turning up. Do you know what I mean?
There was a point where there was, I think, I wouldn't say worry, but there was like a concern that I was going to leave.
Yeah.
And
it was your last like relationship where, I think, wasn't it? Where you just...
No.
Oh.
It was something happened, nothing to do with me, but someone left the club and they thought I was going to go as well.
Oh, yeah.
But I was never... My loyalty stays with the club.
Yeah.
But,
no, yeah, I know.
Like, I'd go train elsewhere.
Yeah.
No one's ever had a problem with me going to get more classes elsewhere or mixing in, meeting new people and stuff. But I'll always be Newbury BJJ.
Yeah, I think having your like this is to anyone. Like, I think like having like a dedicated gym is really good for you. Like, building the community there.
Yeah.
I think when you start jumping around here, there, and everywhere, it's a bit strange. Like,
it's like it could have been so easy for like when I started, with how small the club was and like how much I was training. Like, I had to go elsewhere to get more training because we just didn't have the available time slots for more classes. But
now,
as the club progressed, it was like if you just jump ship to get better training and get better training partners, then this is never going to progress. There has to be a group of people that sticks with it to progress the club. Otherwise, it's just going to be white belts come up, get to like blue or purple, and then leave to get more training, and then you'll just get a new group of white belts.
You've only got to look at Newbury now and look at like when we get a full mats, look at like the colour on the mats of like, you know, we've got all like white belt, blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, black belts all the way through, and
we're not
consistently as well.
And we're not like a massive like competitive club or anything. We've got a great community, very welcoming.
Yeah.
And we've got a few people that like to compete, push themselves, which is great. But it's not. We've never been a group where it's like you have to go compete, you have to get these medals to progress.
Because I think some gyms say that you have to compete at X belt or whatever, don't you, to get you an X belt? Which I don't think. Yeah, again, Bernie's always been really good at like understanding that some people just do this for a hobby. Yeah. Like, not everyone does it for competing, whereas some gyms...
It's not like it's any easier to get a belt. It's just everyone's journey is different. So from me getting a blue belt could be completely different to when you got your blue belt.
Yeah.
Our journeys were completely different.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I mean, the spectrum of level of belt now is so vast.
Yeah.
As in, like, you have got your hobbyists that are just doing one training session a week, getting their purple belts.
And it will take a bit longer.
But then you've still got guys that are getting the purple belts in like 2-3 years or whatever, just because they've been like, they train every day.
They're just technique wise, they're just shy.
Yeah. No, so that's it. But it's Yeah, like newbie.
I would hate to be like a head coach and have to figure out when someone's ready for a belt.
Yeah.
So
I think
difficult.
it's always weird. Like me and you have these conversations, and like you'll say to me, "Oh, do you think so and so's like ready for whatever belt?" And then me and you will always have a conversation about it, and then I go, we always end up saying, because you try and compare it to like what you think that person should be at the belt, or like what you were at that belt, don't you? And then like say it's for me it's like when people ask me about going up to blue belt, and I cannot remember what I was like from going from white to blue. Probably even worse for you, like you're brown belt now. Do you know what I mean?
I can't remember. Like, I remember being fat. I know that.
Yeah, but yeah, it's
I think the main thing is, long as whatever belt you are or at whatever stage you are, if you look back on like a month down the line or 2 months or a year, if you know you could beat yourself back then and you're in a better place mentally and physically, I think then
that's it. Yeah,
you're winning.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter about beating your training partner or going to a competition and winning, getting gold every single time.
Yeah, that's
as long as you're getting what you want out of it.
Yeah, and like you said, I think that's a good thing to say. Is like if you think you could, if your previous self was to step on the mat, like would you?
I would absolutely annihilate myself.
Yeah, I probably would. Yeah.
I'd smother my old self to pieces.
Imagine that. Yeah. Imagine if you could just do that. If someone created like a machine where you could just
smother your old self.
Well, just like pick up white belt you, plop them on the mat, and then like whatever level you are now, and then you get to roll like just once. Yeah, that'd be so good.
How many times do you think you could tap your white belt self?
Oh God. I would
in a 5-minute round.
I would go mental.
Yeah,
I'd want at least 10.
One every 30 seconds.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that would be real. That would be like, hopefully that's a thing in the future. Technology comes on and we can do that. Yeah, because that would be like, imagine that for progress. Or like
the closest you can get to it is seeing an old video of yourself training to
and then you look at yourself though, don't you? And you're like, what was I doing?
Yeah, why didn't I do this?
Exactly. But imagine if like your belt, you to get your next belt, you had to like beat like you pick up your current self, and then you get to fight your current self, and if you win, you get your next belt. That would be the grading.
To like the levels of jiu-jitsu, I had a good message. When was it? Yesterday. Someone messaged me. I won't say the name just in case they don't want to be mentioned, but they saw the video of Chris throwing me. Yeah. And they messaged me something along the lines of, makes this dude look even scarier knowing that he's able to do that to you. And then I just responded, was like, there's levels, mate. Like, you train hard, you grind hard, you're going to get where you want to be.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's it. When people are training pretty much full time, you know, you do get left behind. That's the thing you've got.
And you just got to accept it.
Yeah, that's it.
People who are hungry for it will.
Jiu-jitsu is so vast because you've got you know, it can take you 2 years or it can take you 10 years to get your next belt. It's not, you don't walk into the club with a set grading criteria. So you've literally got to, in a sense, be good, and also, you know, you don't kind of get belts for like
just turning
up. You kind of do, because if you turn up, then you learn and you do progress. Like turning up is part of it, but
even if it's like they say, "Oh, just turn up," and it's like that is kind of true, because if you turn up, you're gonna learn something.
Better. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it, and that's why you never know. Like when people say, you know, you have the conversation, or someone says to you, "Oh, like, what do you think I need to do to get to this next belt?" And it's like you're way different to like me. Like you need to go to your coach and ask that, because it's like, don't know. Like again, like we said, why did you get given your purple belt? Why did I get given my blue belt? Yeah, don't know really.
I still question why I got my brown belt.
I do as well. But yeah, it's like, it's funny. I have the conversation with my mates sometimes, and we always talk about like, not like belts as such, but we always have the conversation that it's kind of like in a gym, it's generally down to like one person's discretion
Yeah.
Like, you have, like, coaches around or, like, other people that give advice, but at the end of the day...
And be like, oh, I'll roll with him, he did this, and like...
But that man that runs the gym is who decides.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a kind of odd system, but I love it for the fact that I would absolutely hate it if we went... I think we've had this conversation before, but if we went over to, like, a syllabus-based thing in jiu-jitsu, I don't think
I would have done jiu-jitsu if it was syllabus-based.
Yeah, I'm the same, yeah. But then I don't know, because we wouldn't know any different.
No, true.
But
then I look at things like growing up, seeing like the karate and stuff, and I was like, oh, that doesn't...
Yeah, that's the same as me. Yeah. That's why I never stuck to it, other martial arts. That's what I mean. But, right.
I think that's a good point to finish on.
I think our camera's going to die otherwise.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
So, good discussion.
I don't even know what we discussed, really.
I lost track.
Yeah.
I think wrestling and judo.
I think we went on a massive tangent from just asking the beginning questions.
Yeah. But if anyone's got any questions, definitely send us a voice note or a message on the Instagram's best place to do it.
Or on the YouTube. You can comment on the YouTube.
Comment on YouTube. Like and subscribe. That's the first time we've said that, I think. John's just invested in a really good new camera. Yeah, hopefully we say this all the time. We want to start getting some more like footage and reels and stuff, but we just time. We just struggle. Like when get into a routine and
when
stuff.
we go and train, and to stop training to video and stuff is like, but we'll get there. It's
like the Mondays I might start, like, I'll do the colour belt class, and then the second class I might just start just recording it.
Yeah.
And then just get some sparring in at the end.
That's it. And then, like, film a bit of that and stuff like that. I mean, this camera's really good because it, like, tracks, so we're going to try that tomorrow.
Yeah, we can try that in the colour belt class.
Of tracking us
sparring
with some rolling, actually, because I don't know if we're back to normal classes now or what.
I think we are. I think Bernie's back
now.
Oh,
right, yeah, cool. Anyway, that's a bit of a tangent. So...
see you in the next one.
Yeah, literally. See you in the next one.
What's the show that says, bye for now, and waves them off? Is that like...
Don't know.
Like fucking ITV in the morning or something?
I
or
don't
like
know.
CBBC or something?
I have no idea. Why are you watching CBBC?
I just remember just a sentence of saying bye for now, and they wave and look at the camera.
Bye for now.